Have you ever wondered why Israelis are so supportive of United States President Donald J. Trump?
He was the best president for Israel.
Well, let me tell you some of the good reasons why. Jerusalem has been the heart of the Jewish people for millennia. My ancestors who were exiled from the Holy Land to Yemen prayed, like Jews everywhere else in the world, L'Shana Haba'a B'Yerushalayim Abnuya. Next year we will meet in the rebuilt Jerusalem. For decades, American presidents have promised to abide by American law and move the American embassy to Jerusalem.
We will move the American embassy to the eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
While others only spoke, President Trump made promises he kept. He recognized Jerusalem as the eternal and undivided capital of Israel and relocated the American embassy to where it really belonged, Jerusalem. President Trump's administration also recognized Israel's legal rights to the Golan Heights, part of our ancient homeland. The Pompeo Doctrine defended our rights by changing American policy, and now Jews living in Judea and Samaria are no longer to be considered international lawbreakers, but a people returning to their ancestral homeland.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Did you know that our neighbors glorify terrorists who slay school children, butcher worshippers in synagogues, and blow up cafeterias and public buses? In reward for their terrorism, their leadership puts them on their payroll. The more fatalities they incur, the more money they or their families get. Until now, the US has been funding this insanity. But no more, at least not with American tax money. President Trump has discontinued aid to the Palestinian Authority as long as it continues to pay terrorists for slaying Jews. He has disconnected from UNESCO after that institution claimed the Temple Mount and Tomb of Patriarchs in Hebron were not Jewish historical sites. He has disconnected from UNRWA, an organization that instead of educating Palestinian children to peace and tolerance, sponsors hate and promotes war against Israel. Last year, President Trump issued an executive order that for the first time protected American Jewish students from discrimination under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act.
Thank you, President Trump.
Thank you, President Trump.
Iran is the leading patron of terrorism in the world, harboring an illegal nuclear weapon program that is aimed for the destruction of the Jewish people. The previous American administration appeased this radical regime, handing over billions of dollars, signing deals which were violated before their ink dried. President Trump has restored sanity by ending the pro-Iran nuclear deal. He has imposed harsh sanctions on the Iranian regime, striking Iranian terror chiefs and foot soldiers. And now, he's gradually building alliances with many Muslims in the world who reject Iranian hate and radicalism. Which leads us to the final point. For decades, Israel has been scapegoated for every scuffle that happened in the Middle East. We were constantly told that the Arab war against us was always our fault and that it is we who need to make concessions to terror. And now, new scene of history is unfolding before our eyes. New relationships between Jews and Arabs are starting to blossom. President Trump said yes to peace. And that's why Israelis say yes to President Trump and hope to see the most supportive American president Israel's ever had 4 more years in office. Good luck, Mr. President.
Chovevei Zion Policy Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.